Thank you all for joining us in this wonderfully lovely fall morning while we're here to celebrate the topping off of our new live luxury tower and event center. You know, it seems like it was just, yesterday when we were here doing the same thing for the hotel with a structure that you're sitting on right now, opened 5 short years ago. And now we're here celebrating, our move into a resort destination with this incredible asset and facility behind us. It makes me very proud to be part of the family, the Cordish companies, the live casino family, and this community in everything that we do every day. And none of this would be possible without the vision, the direction of the Cordishes, the Cordish company, Joe Weinberg, and it's with great pleasure that I can get off of the microphone and introduce our CEO, Mr. David Cordish. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It really is a very exciting day for the company and our family. We've waited a long time to launch the Live Hotel brand. I'm going to tell you a little bit about its history in a second. But first, I want to acknowledge the very distinguished group sitting behind me on the dais. And on behalf of Governor Hogan, who wrote me a really lovely, very congratulatory note, we have Benjamin Wu, who is head of Economic Development, Deputy Head for the state of Maryland. Benjamin, could you raise your hand? Where are you? We are very, very fortunate in Maryland to have the elected officials that I'm going to recognize today, and the first one is Governor Hogan. And he's generally considered around the United States of America one of the top governors, and for good reason. Also on the dais today, let me just go right down. Travis Lamb, you've already met Mr. Norton. Travis is the general manager now of the entire complex. Next to him, Taylor Gray, who's a senior development director at the Cordish company. Joe Weinberg, who most of you know. We wouldn't be here without Joe. He's been my partner for only 31 years. We're just getting to know each other, and he keeps me straight. Benjamin Wu, I already acknowledged. Senator DeGrange has been with us on this project from before it began and has been a counselor to us, an advisor to us, and a supporter. We wouldn't be here without Senator DeGrange. Next to him, well-deserved. Steve Schuh, the county executive, is probably known to everybody here. He's done an amazing job as county executive, which doesn't surprise any of us, because Steve had a very illustrious career in the private sector as a businessman. And he brought the skills of running a business to government. And he put the two together, and that's why Anne Arundel County has moved massively under his leadership. So we'll hear from Steve a little later, but we're all glad he's in the position he's in. Pete Smith is similarly a wonderfully distinguished career. He's, in a sense, the American dream. And what he's accomplished both in his military career, he works for NSA, he works for for foundation work like Toys for Tots. He's done it all. And he's been a friend and, again, a leader for us in making this a reality. And we'll hear from Pete a little later. The final person to acknowledge, actually, we really wouldn't be here without this gentleman who's with the Perini Company and is in charge of this whole construction. And he'll be the last speaker after me at the end. Let me acknowledge a couple other distinguished people that are here somewhere out there. Delegate Pam Beidel, Delegate Mark Chang, Heather Campbell on behalf of Senator Cardin, who I was with yesterday. On behalf of Senator Von Hollen, he has a representative here somewhere. Anne Arundel County, thank you. Sheriff Ronald Bateman and his Chief Deputy, Colonel Paul Tabor. On behalf of the Anne Arundel County Police Department, who work with us literally every day, every night, and early into the mornings, Deputy Chief Jared Rod Flemings. And many others from the business community and the nonprofit community that make us the success that we've been. So just a couple minutes of history on what it means to us today as a company and a family. The Cordish Company entertains throughout the United States almost 50 million people a year. These are in our live entertainment districts, in our various sports-related projects, in our casino-related projects. But this is the first time that we've had a live hotel to have our guests stay in. And it means a lot to us because now you can come to this complex, you can shop in the leading tourist attraction in the state of Maryland, the leading visitor attraction in the state of Maryland, the Arundel Mills Mall. 14 million people come. You can come here and you can shop there. You can come to our casino, and now you can stay overnight in the hotel. Now, the history of Live and our company is as follows. Over 30 years ago, more than that, we went to the United States Patent Office and we asked them to give us a copyright on the word live in 3 contexts. One for live entertainment districts, and we've been doing those for years. One for casinos, and we've been doing those for a lot of years. And one is for hotels. So if you see the name Live Hotel, that has to be ours because we have it copyrighted. But that third arrow in our quiver, we let languish till recently, when we decided it's a great name for a brand and we're going to make a Live Hotel brand and take it across the country. The first thing we did, as some of you know, is we bought, not far from here, I mean less than 3 minutes, a Hilton, and we converted it to a Live Loft. But that wasn't a ground up, and that's not going to be the final product that we take across the country. What we see today behind us is going to be the prototype, and this is our first one. It'll be the tallest building in Anne Arundel County when it's complete. It'll have 310 rooms. It'll have a world-class spa. It'll have a world-class fitness center, and it'll have a new David's restaurant. Now, I don't know where they got that name, but I kind of like it. And we're going to take it across the country. We already have 3 locations for it that are already picked out, and 2 have actually been announced, and they're just beginning their construction. The word live is part of our DNA. It's something that makes us very excited. It's something that makes us different, we think. And when you come here, we compete against some massive national companies, but they're not live, they're traditional. They're not owned by a family, they're owned by a stock exchange company. This place will be different. This Live Hotel brand will be different. And we wanted it to start here. Why is that? Because our family is from Maryland. Our company is in Maryland. We're very proud to be Marylanders. We're very proud to be Anne Arundel County. I have a home in Anne Arundel County. We have businesses in Anne Arundel County. And we wanted this Live brand, even though it's going to go across the country, to open here. When you put your heart and mind into something, you also need to back it up financially. This is a financial investment. Let me close by saying another thing we're very proud of is that in the few years that we've been open, we've contributed over $1 billion to the State of Maryland Educational Fund. Over $1 billion. We contribute, we have, if you total it up, over $100 million to Anne Arundel County just in gaming tax. And that gets distributed across the county, many to nonprofits, some with the county, and nothing that I can say today makes us prouder than those two contributions, because you can say you have it in your heart, but you sometimes have got to back it up, and I think we have. Thank you. Now, my first speaker is Mr. Wu, I believe. Would that be right? Where are you? I keep getting you wrong. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Well, the sun is literally shining on us today. Thank you, David. I'm as shifty as he is. On behalf of Governor Larry Hogan, let me offer to you, to the Cordish companies, to all of you here today, congratulations for another great project and another fantastic contribution to Maryland's economy. Today's topping off ceremony is the next major milestone before this $200 million live hotel opens early next year. And just like some of the folks next door, for the state of Maryland, we know when we're holding great cards. And this project is a winning hand if we've ever seen one. But it's not going to be just a win for Maryland Live. This is bigger than that. This is a project that's going to generate significant revenue for our state and will be an even more attractive destination for visitors from and outside of Maryland, now that they'll have this place to stay and to play. Maryland Live is already one of the top tourist destinations in the state, drawing more than 10 million visitors, generating more than $1.4 billion in tax revenue since opening its doors 5 years ago. Maryland Live is part of the reason why our state's economy and our tourism continue to set new records for our state. Visitors to Maryland spent over $17 billion in travel expenses last year, up 2.7% from the previous year. Maryland welcomed more than 42 million visitors in 2016, which is a 4% increase from the previous year, and has also outpaced the national visitation rate of 2.6%. Tourism is Maryland's 10th largest industry sector, and in total, Maryland visitors have generated spending over $28 billion in total business sales last year. And you're also creating jobs with this project. This hotel has brought 550 construction jobs to this area and will have another 400 permanent employees when it opens. Maryland Live has already proven itself to be a great asset for our state. So thank you, David, and to the Cordish companies, and to Maryland Live, because since your opening in 2012, you have, as you mentioned, put in more than $1.1 billion in our education trust fund and provided more than $30 million in grant funding for women, local, minority-owned businesses right here in Anne Arundel County. So you've already set a pretty high bar. And today, we're going to be literally and figuratively behind us, topping it. And with this hotel, we can even soar above it. And I'd call that a pretty safe bet with a pretty big jackpot. So on behalf of Governor Larry on behalf of Governor Hogan, I'd say keep up the great work. Thank you to you, your company, and your executives, and for all that you've been doing to help support our great state.
Next speaker is Senator Ed DeGrange, who I mentioned earlier, and I'm just going to repeat it to you. He has been our counselor, our advisor, and a guiding light on this project way before it came out of the ground. And then when it came out of the ground, and then every problem, every creative, every idea that we've had to bounce off somebody, you go to the senator and you get good advice. My friend, Senator Ed DeGrange.
Thank you. What a great day. Many years ago when this area right here that we're in today was just vacant land, nothing here. And I was way back then, I was on the county council, and we had this company called Arundel Mills. A Mills Corporation came to us and wanted to develop this. And wow, what is it today? It's the economic engine, not only for Anne Arundel County, but the entire state of Maryland. Along came David, and he's got this vision, which, who would have known? Right here next to the mall, which was drawing 14 million people, and he's going to build the casino here, a world-class facility. And that's what it is today, and it keeps growing and growing in popularity and revenues to not only the state, but also to the local government. And now with this live hotel going up, what a great place for it to be, is starting right here in Anne Arundel County, where we've got another world-class facility, and we've got this hotel that's going to be admired for many, many years to come. And I'm just so proud to play a small part in working with such a great company. David and Joe and Rob and the rest of the team have just been terrific to this area, and also to the employment. Look at the jobs that they've created for the whole facility right here from the local communities coming right here to work. And it's just been wonderful for all of us to concern. I want to congratulate you. This is a great day. Thank you all very much.
Our next speaker really does not need any introduction. I introduced him earlier. County Executive Steve Schuh is a treasure for our county. And what's happened under his leadership, I don't have to tell anybody here because the evidence is all around us. Steve, if you could come up and say a few words, I think everybody would love to hear from you.
Thank you, David. What a beautiful day, isn't it, here in Anne Arundel County? It's always gorgeous here. Senator DeGrange, just want to share with you, has announced that he will be retiring at the end of the current term. He has given 20 years of service, more than 2 decades of service to the state of Maryland and Anne Arundel County, and I'd like to ask you all to give him a round of applause. I am so excited to be here this morning as we take yet another important step in improving the quality of life here in Anne Arundel County. And I want to thank the people of Live Hotel and Casino and the Cordish companies for being such responsible and committed corporate citizens, and for looking for new ways to increase the positive impact that this facility has on our county and on the state of Maryland. 3 years ago, our administration, along with Councilman Pete Smith, met with officials at what was then known as Maryland Live to discuss an incredible opportunity. The Cordish companies had designed and would soon break ground on a first-class hotel, the largest such structure in Anne Arundel County. And as part of that project, they'd planned on including a 1,500-person conference center. We entered into discussions to expand the facility into a full-blown 4,000-person convention center through a public-private partnership with county financial participation in the cost of the project. Councilman Smith and our administration recognized that such a facility would not only attract trade shows and conventions and other business events, but more importantly, would provide a much-needed in-county location for milestone events like high school and community college graduations. Up until now, those major events have had to be conducted outside of Anne Arundel County, in Baltimore County, Prince George's County, and other places, causing our families to travel great distances for those very memorable events. No longer will those parents have to travel all over creation to see their children cross the stage in a cap and gown. The facilities we're capping off this morning will house that convention center thanks to a pilot agreement that we have recently submitted to the County Council for their approval. This partnership represents a very attractive opportunity for the taxpayers of Anne Arundel County, In effect, our share of the cost of the project is estimated to be about $21 million or $700,000 per year for the next 30 years over the life of the pilot. This amount is also about identical to the original tax increment financing structure that we'd proposed and that the council approved a couple years ago. If the county were to build a convention center like this on its own, it would probably cost us more than $60 million. This new hotel and convention center is a shining example of the progress and prosperity of Anne Arundel County. This facility will be a permanent fixture of our landscape and an economic growth engine that will propel us into the future. And I, for one, am looking forward to attending my first high school graduation ceremony here next summer. Thank you for being here today.
Pete Smith is the council person who represents this general area. I'll call it the Arundel Mills Mall area, Arundel Mills Live Casino area. And with that duty or title or district goes an enormous responsibility, which Pete meets over and over and over again and exceeds expectations on, because it's his job to interface not just with us, but with the mall and all of the community groups around us. And maybe the best proof of how well Pete has succeeded in doing his job is that when we started, there were 1,000 or so residents that you could walk to from this site. Now, there are many, 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 many thousands of residents, and they keep building them. All any of you have to do today is walk or drive on a concentric circle around where we're standing right now, and you will see under construction home after home, high-rise residential condos, apartments, single-family dwellings. And that's because, among other things, that Pete Smith has done is he's integrated us into the community and vice versa. And nobody could do it the way he's done it. And for that alone, I'm grateful. Our company's grateful, and the citizens around here are grateful. Pete, could you come up for a second, please? Great job.
You know, it's always interesting when you get introduced. The speaker who's introducing you always make you feel like you've sort of just been this fantastic individual, and I'm sort of like, wow, I did all that. It's a great announcement, but the reality is, I'm just sort of a figurehead when it comes to the real work that's done by the county. And all the citizens who work for this county that really, really, really do all the hard work. The county executive, Steve Schuh, as well as the senator could probably attest that for many, many years, it's been the community leaders who've been here in Maryland that has really led us to this point. And I'm excited to just be a witness to that testimony and a witness to the success that we've gained this far. Live casino and hotels. I'm so used to saying Maryland Live. I know Carmen, she's always like smacking me on the back of the head, saying, no, it's Live Casino and Hotel. So Carmen, for your pleasure, I got it. It's memorized in my head. Oh, there she is over there, Live Casino and Hotel. One of the things I want to speak about, certainly the jobs and the economy and the economics is the most important thing that has happened out of Maryland Live, and Live Casino and Hotel. Oh, out of Live Casino and Hotel. They've generated thousands of jobs and millions of dollars in economic sort of vitality for this county and for this state. But one of the things I think is often missed with Live Casino and Hotel is the community participation that they involve themselves in. I get to witness, like as David mentioned, I get to witness on a regular basis throughout the year of how much they involve themselves into the community. Now, it's one thing, and certainly it's an important thing to provide that economic in the job, but I got to tell you, there aren't too many companies that go above and beyond to help the communities that are around him with millions of dollars. We've probably given over $100 million in local impact grants that have been led by the LDC, the Local Development Council, the Delegate Pam Bottle serves on, Gene Condon serves on, and many others. Who have given millions of dollars back to the local community so that they can either improve the aesthetics that are around the neighborhoods, security procedures, or improve the roads or clean up certain communities. And I got to tell you, it just makes being a part of those communities that much more better. because they are impacted by the casino. And Live Casino and Hotel has been there since day one, offering to be the first one in line to help either mow the grass when it comes to resources. Toys that we collect through the Toys for Tots program. They have Marines that are at the facility who get donations to help children who are suffering this year and every year to have a better Christmas. And it is that spirit that I think Live Casino and Hotel brings that I was honored when we started talking about this project a couple of years ago of how do we get them to not only sustain themselves, but to thrive. I mentioned to David before that someone I was talking to in business that if you don't evolve, you die, right? If you don't evolve, and that's a bad word. I know we're talking about this celebration. But at the end of the day, this company has evolved itself constantly over the last several years to remain competitive and to provide us with the economic input that's going to make sure our county is going to be sustainable many, many years from now. And so to that end, I am just grateful to be an instrument that allows this process to continue and to continue to be a force in my eyes to be able to contribute and be a good asset to the community, because that's the part I care the most about, is those neighborhoods that are impacted by Live Casino Hotel and all the other jurisdictions that surround us. And they have been a great partner, and I'm excited that they are now building this 300-room hotel, 5-star hotel, I believe. Probably is it the first one in the area? Five-star hotel. And I can't wait to see when it's finally done, just to see the product that we're pushing out there, because that's what Anne Arundel County is about. We're about providing a product and helping businesses exceed in this county, no matter where you are. The county executive, we serve on different sides of the aisle, but when it comes to Anne Arundel County, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to business, we are like twins. And I'm excited that he and I have, well, maybe not. We look like twins. Someone downstairs asked us if we could bench press that beam right there. I told him it's 1,400 pounds. And so I said between Steve and Ed, we might be able to push it, because there's some big, strong guys as well. And so, again, I'll end on this. Live Casino and Hotel is an asset to this county, and it's a responsibility of ours as the county council, as well as county government, to be an asset to them, because they have certainly been an asset to us. So thank you, Dave, for the opportunity to speak.
The final speaker, Pete Socolow, is the executive from Tudor Perini. When we all say we've had a hand in this today, Joe or Taylor or I, and maybe we did, but we can truly say that without Pete, we wouldn't be here, because they're the company that's actually building it. And they're the ones who have sweated day and night and have been a good partner with us in getting this done. And he promises me we'll be done next spring, right, Pete? Absolutely. All of you are witnesses. Doesn't matter how cold the winter is, right, Pete? Well, it doesn't bother him. Absolutely. Everybody hear that? Okay, Pete, could you come up for a minute?
What a great day, what a great occasion. Momentous, that's what I call it. Tudor Perini has a long-standing working relationships with the Cordish companies. We've been successfully working together for over 15 years. The Maryland Live project is an extension of this relationship. We're pleased to be working again for David, building with his team, expanding one of the country's most successful casinos. We all know that projects of this size and magnitude have a significant impact on the communities in which they're located. During the pre-construction process, our entire team made a commitment to maximize local participation during the construction of the project. To date, we have spent over $85 million locally. We remain committed to delivering this project successfully and making it something that we're all going to be proud of. Thank you.
Now, if I have my orders straight, I think Carmen wants us to go over to the beam, and everybody on the podium will sign it. Everybody know how to spell their name right? Okay. Everybody to that side, please.